If you have been hearing that the Vancouver market is slow, prices are down, and buyers have all the power right now, well, you're not wrong. But here is what most headlines are missing and why it matters if you are buying or selling this year. Hey everyone, it's Nancy, your Vancouver realtor. Today, I want to break down what is really happening in Vancouver's real estate market as of January 2026 in plain English. No hype, no panic, and just showing you what the data is really telling us and how you can take advantage of it. Let's start with the big picture. We saw just over 1,100 sales in January, which is down almost 29% from last year. And at the same time, active listings are sitting at about 12,600 listings, which is close to 10% year over year. Prices have adjusted thoughtfully. The benchmark price now is about $1.1 million and is down about 5.7%. The most important stat on this slide is the sales to active ratio, which is 9.1%. Anything below 12% signals a downward pressure on pricing. So this is telling us that we are in a buyer's market condition. This is not a collapse. This is just a reset. Sales activity is nearly 31% below the 10-year seasonal average. That tells us transactional velocity has slowed down, meaning homes are taking longer to sell and buyers are taking more time to decide and buy. Buyer hesitation is being driven by three things: mortgage renewals at a higher rate, broader economic uncertainty, and borrowing costs that are still elevated compared to the last few years. But demand has not disappeared. It's become selective. Today's buyers are very intentional. They are running numbers. They're comparing options. Emotion and speculation buying is largely gone, and that is actually healthier for the market long term. Inventory is the biggest shift we have seen. We're currently at about 12,628 listings, which is about 38% above the 10-year average. That level of inventory fundamentally changes more dynamics. Historically, when the sales to active listing ratio drops below 12%, prices face downward pressure. At 9.1%, buyers clearly have leverage. What this means in real term is more choice, less urgency, and significantly more negotiating power for buyers. Detached homes have seen the largest adjustment. Benchmark pricing is around $1.85 million, down over 7% year over year. Detached properties are at the most sensitive to higher rates and carrying costs. Townhomes are sitting at around $1.04 million, down about 5.4%. This segment continues to attract move-up buyers who want more space but are priced out of detached homes. Apartments at around $705,000, down roughly 5.9%. Entry-level demand remains strongest here because there is affordability still exists for first-time home buyers. So for days on the market, homes are taking longer to sell, but think about we were actually in the winter season, right? So December and January has always been the slowest time for selling and buying because people are busy with the holidays. So it's not really saying much because January is supposed to be the slow time. And it is, especially in this market right now, it's going to take a little bit longer to sell. So even though the data is showing that, it's a little bit over what we're normally seeing, for houses, about 61 days, and for townhomes is about 47 to 49 days to sell. I would say this is quite normal for this market. And the average sale to list price right now is around 97%. So whatever the list price is, properties are selling not over asking. They're just selling a little bit under the listing price at 97% of list price. So I would say that's quite reasonable. Now, that is really property dependent, and it really depends on what the seller's asking price is, right? Sometimes sellers have listed their property at a high price, expecting some negotiations, and I don't suggest this strategy at all. We do want to definitely list it close to market value so that we can find you the most qualified buyers for that specific price range. So again, it's really dependent on what the seller's asking price is to begin with, but generally, if it's listed at market price, it is selling at 97% of the list price. For buyers, what does it mean for you? So as we've seen in December and January, it's been quite slow. You're getting a lot of inventory. Sales number isn't really as strong. But to be honest, in the last 2 weeks, we are seeing buyers come out. We're seeing some areas right now, a lot of properties are getting offers. A lot of properties that were sitting on the market are getting offers. So we're seeing the start of the spring market already beginning. So if you've been thinking about buying, now may be a good time to actually start looking. But don't panic, right? We don't want you to have a fear of missing out FOMO moment. You still want to make sure that you're looking for a property that is high quality in the exact location that you want, and it will create long-term value for you. And that property will appreciate for you later on. And this is a great time to start looking. With interest rates pausing, I think that's generating a lot of interest of buyers coming on the market right now. They're thinking that, hey, the interest rates may not go down anymore. So buyers are coming back out. They're tired of waiting. So we're seeing properties and listings that were sitting on the market finally getting sold. So there's definitely a lot more activity coming onto the market right now. And what it means for sellers, homes are still selling, but not automatically. The difference between when homes are selling and homes that are sitting on the market is strategy from day one. But accurate pricing is critical, hands down. Overpriced listings will sit on the market and often require reductions, multiple reductions. So it's important to really, really price it from day one. And presentation matters more than ever. So we want to make sure you hire a really, really good realtor with really, really good marketing, with excellent videos and excellent presentation of photography, the write-ups, all of it. Strong marketing is a non-negotiable right now. Understanding buyer psychology is a real edge. Today's buyers are analytical and selective, and sellers need to meet them where they're at. The Bank of Canada policy rate is holding at 2.25%, with prime around 4.45%. Fixed rates are under same upward pressure due to bond market volatility. A major factor impacting the market is mortgage renewal rates. Many homeowners who bought in 2021 at historic lows now have rates that are renewing at a much higher rate, at a much higher cost. So they're thinking about selling or investing or renting the property out. That's why there's an influx of inventory on the market. And this is why it's contributing to historic highs in listings and sellers' motivation in Metro Vancouver. Rates are lower than their peak, still meaningfully higher than 2020 and 2021 era, which continues to affect affordability calculations. With that said, from last week, because the rates were held, we're seeing that actually it has created some urgency in buyers thinking that it may be a low, and it could be, right? So buyers are actually getting back out because they're tired of waiting for mortgage interest rates to go down. So because of rate hold, the market is picking up. Most economists and industry analysts are forecasting relatively flat pricing through 2026. Sales activity is expected to improve gradually in the second half of the year as buyers and sellers adjust to the new rates environment. This is a strategy-driven market, not a speculative one. So success in 2026 will reward people who understand fundamentals, not momentum. We expect continued buyers condition in the first half of the year and gradually stability in the later of 2026, and the potential for modest recovery into 2027 as uncertainty eases. How to win in this market? For buyers, get pre-approved early. Know your full carrying costs, not just the mortgage payments. And when the right property comes along, act decisively and quickly with smart conditions, because the great properties are still selling. So you want to make sure that you're in the front of the line when you see that right property come up. For sellers, price with precision. Using real data. Prepare the home properly, because presentation directly impacts the final sale price. If you are thinking about buying or selling or investing in today's market, Let me know. As you're planning the next move, request a specific neighborhood analysis, a market breakdown, or book a confidential one-on-one strategic session with me. The market rewards informed decision. So click on the link below to book a call, and we'll see you next month.